Day 124, 2 Samuel 5, 1 Chronicles 7 through 8, and Psalm 27. Second Samuel 5. David anointed king of all Israel. Then all the tribes of Israel came to David at Hebron and said, "Behold, we are your bone and flesh. In times past, when Saul was king over us, it was you that led out and brought in Israel. And the Lord said to you, 'You shall be shepherd of my people Israel, and you shall be prince over Israel.' So all the elders of Israel came to the king at Hebron, and King David made a covenant with them at Hebron before the Lord, and they anointed David king over Israel. David was 30 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 40 years. At Hebron he reigned over Judah 7 years and 6 months, and at Jerusalem he reigned over all Israel and Judah 33 years. Jerusalem is made capital of the kingdom. And the king and his men went to Jerusalem against the Jebusites, the inhabitants of the land, who said to David, 'You will not come in here, but the blind and the lame will ward you off,' thinking, 'David cannot come in here.' Nevertheless, David took the stronghold of Zion, that is, the city of David. And David said on that day, 'Whoever would strike the Jebusites, let him get up the water shaft to attack the lame and the blind, who are hated by David's soul.' Therefore it is said, 'The blind and the lame shall not come into the house.' And David dwelt in the stronghold, and called it the city of David. And David built the city round about from the Millo inward. And David became greater and greater, for the Lord, the God of hosts, was with him. And Hiram, king of Tyre, sent messengers to David, and cedar trees, also carpenters and masons, who built David a house. And David perceived that the Lord had established him king over Israel, and that he had exalted his kingdom for the sake of his people Israel. And David took more concubines and wives from Jerusalem after he came from Hebron, and more sons and daughters were born to David. And these are the names of those who were born to him in Jerusalem: Shammua, Shobab, Nathan, Solomon, Ibhar, Elishua, Nepheg, Japhia, Elishama, Eliada, and Eliphelet. Philistine attack repulsed. When the Philistines heard that David had been anointed king over Israel, all the Philistines went up in search of David. But David heard of it and went down to the stronghold. Now the Philistines had come and spread out in the valley of Rephaim. And David inquired of the Lord, 'Shall I go up against the Philistines? Will you give them into my hand?' And the Lord said to David, 'Go up, for I will certainly give the Philistines into your hand.' And David came to Baal Perazim, and David defeated them there. And he said, 'The Lord has broken through my enemies before me like a bursting flood.' Therefore the name of that place is called Baal Perazim. And the Philistines left their idols there, and David and his men carried them away. And the Philistines came up yet again, and spread out in the valley of Rephaim. And when David inquired of the Lord, he said, 'You shall not go up. Go around to the rear, and come upon them opposite the balsam trees. And when you hear the sound of marching in the tops of the balsam trees, then bestir yourself, for then the Lord has gone out before you to strike the army of the Philistines.' And David did as the Lord commanded him, and struck the Philistines from Geba to Gezer. First Chronicles 7. Descendants of Issachar. The sons of Issachar: Tola, Puah, Jashub, and Shimron. 4. The sons of Tola: Uzi, Raphiah, Jeriel, Jameh, Ibsam, and Shemuel, heads of their fathers' houses, namely of Tola, mighty warriors of their generations. Their number in the days of David being 22,600. The sons of Uzi: Izrahiah, and the sons of Izrahiah: Michael, Obadiah, Joel, and Jeshiah. 5. All of them chief men. And along with them, by their generations, according to their fathers' houses, were units of the army for war, 36,000, for they had many wives and sons. Their kinsmen belonging to all the families of Issachar were in all 87,000, mighty warriors enrolled by genealogy. Descendants of Benjamin. The sons of Benjamin: Bela, Becher, and Jediel. 3. The sons of Bela: Esbon, Uzi, Uziel, Jerimoth, and Eri. 5. Heads of fathers' houses, mighty warriors, and their enrollment by genealogies was 22,034. The sons of Becher: Zemirah, Joash, Eleazar, Elioenai, Omri, Jerimoth, Abijah, Anathoth, and Elimeth. All these were the sons of Becher, and their enrollment by genealogies, according to their generations, as heads of their fathers' houses, mighty warriors, was 20,200. The sons of Jediel: Bilhan, and the sons of Bilhan: Joash, Benjamin, Ehud, Chenanah, Zethan, Tarshish, and Ashishahar. All these were the sons of Jediel, according to the heads of their fathers' houses, mighty warriors, 17,200, ready for service in war. And Shupim and Hupim were the sons of Hushim the sons of Ahir. Descendants of Naphtali. The sons of Naphtali: Jaziel, Guni, Jazir, and Shulam, the offspring of Bilhah. Descendants of Manasseh. The sons of Manasseh: Azriel, whom his Aramean concubine bore. She bore Machir, the father of Gilead. And Machir took a wife for Hupim and for Shupim. The name of his sister was Maacah, and the name of the second was Zelophehad. And Zelophehad had daughters. And Maacah, the wife of Machir, bore a son, and she called his name Peresh. And the name of his brother was Sheresh. And his sons were Ulam and Rakem. The sons of Ulam: Bedan. These were the sons of Gilead, the son of Machir, son of Manasseh. And his sister Hameleketh bore Ishhad, Abiezer, and Mahlah. The sons of Shemida were Ahian, Shechem, Lechi, and Aniam. Descendants of Ephraim. The sons of Ephraim: Shuthelah, and Bered, his son, Tahath, his son, Eliadah, his son, Tahath, his son, Zabad, his son, Shuthelah, his son, and Azer, and Eliad, whom the men of Gath, who were born in the land, slew, because they came down to raid their cattle. And Ephraim their father mourned many days, and his brothers came to comfort him. And Ephraim went in to his wife, and she conceived and bore a son, and he called his name Beriah, because evil had befallen his house. His daughter was Shirah, who built both lower and upper Beth-horon, and Uzan Shirah. Repha was his son, Resheph his son, Telah his son, Tehan his son, Ladan his son, Ammihud his son, Elishama his son, Nun his son, Joshua his son. Their possessions and settlements were Bethel and its towns, and eastward Naran, and westward Gezer and its towns, Shechem and its towns, and Ayah and its towns. Also along the borders of the Manassites, Bethshean and its towns, Tanakh and its towns, Megiddo and its towns, Dor and its towns. In these dwelt the sons of Joseph, the son of Israel. Descendants of Asher. The sons of Asher: Imnah, Ishva, Ishvi, Beriah, and their sister Sarah. The sons of Beriah: Heber and Malchiel, who was the father of Berzeth. Heber was the father of Jephlet, Shomer, Hotham, and their sister Shua. The sons of Jephlet: Pesach, Bimhal, and Ashvath. These are the sons of Jephlet. The sons of Shamir, his brother: Rogah, Jehubah, and Aram. The sons of Helem, his brother: Zophah, Imnah, Shelesh, and Amal. The sons of Zophah: Suah, Harnepher, Shual, Beri, Imrah, Bezer, Hod, Shammah, Shilshah, Ithron, and Birah. The sons of Jether: Jephunneh, Pispa, and Arah. The sons of Ulah: Erah, Haniel, and Rizia. All of these were men of Asher, heads of fathers' houses, approved, mighty warriors, chief of the princes. Their number enrolled by genealogies for service in war was 26,000 men. 1 Chronicles 8. Descendants of Benjamin in detail. Benjamin was the father of Bela, his firstborn, Ashbel the second, Erahah the third, Noah the fourth, and Rapha the fifth. And Bela had sons: Adar, Gerah, Abihud, Abishua, Naaman, Ahoah, Gerah, Shephaphon, and Haram. These are the sons of Ehud. They were heads of fathers' houses of the inhabitants of Geba, and they were carried into exile to Manahath: Naaman, Ahijah, and Gerah, that is Heglam, who was the father of Uzzah and Ahihud. And Sheraham had sons in the country of Moab, after he had sent away Husham and Bara his wives. He had sons by Hodesh his wife: Jobab, Zibiah, Misha, Malcolm, Jeuz, Sakia, and Mirma. These were his sons, heads of fathers' houses. He also had sons by Husham, Abitub, and Elpaal. The sons of Elpaal: Eber, Misham, and Shemed, who built Ono and Lod with its towns, and Beriah and Shema. They were heads of fathers' houses of the inhabitants of Ajalon, who put to flight the inhabitants of Gath, and Io, Sheshach, and Jeremoth. Zebediah, Arad, Eder, Michael, Ishpa, and Joha were sons of Beriah. Zebediah, Meshullam, Hizki, Heber, Ishmerai, Islai, and Jobab were the sons of Elpaal. Joachim, Zichri, Zabdi, Elianai, Zilithai, Eliel, Adiah, Berihai, and Shimrath were the sons of Shimei. Ishpan, Eber, Eliel, Abdon, Zichri, Hanan, Hananiah, Elam, Anthotjiah, Iphdai, and Penuel were the sons of Sheshach. Shamsharai, Shariah, Athaliah, Jerushiah, Elijah, and Zichri were the sons of Jeroham. These were the heads of fathers' houses, according to their generations, chief men. These dwelt in Jerusalem. Jeiel, the father of Gibeon, dwelt in Gibeon, and the name of his wife was Maacah. His firstborn son, Abdon, then Zur, Kish, Baal, Nadab, Gedor, Ahio, Zechar, and Mikloth. He was the father of Shimei. Now these also dwelt opposite their kinsmen in Jerusalem, with their kinsmen. Ner was the father of Kish, Kish of Saul, Saul of Jonathan, Malchishua, Abinadab, and Eshbaal. And the son of Jonathan was Meribaal, and Meribaal was the father of Micah. The sons of Micah, Pithon, Melech, Tereah, and Ahaz. Ahaz was the father of Jehoiada, and Jehoiada was the father of Elameth, Asmaveth, and Zimri. Zimri was the father of Moza. Moza was the father of Benaiah. Rapha was his son, Eleasah his son, Azel his son. Azel had 6 sons, and these are their names: Azrikam, Bokeru, Ishmael, Shariah, Obadiah, and Hanan. All these were the sons of Azel. The sons of Eshek his brother, Ulam his firstborn, Josh the second, and Eliphalet the third. The sons of Ulam were men who were mighty warriors, bowmen, having many sons and grandsons, 150. All these were Benjaminites. Psalm 27. Triumphant Song of Confidence, a Psalm of David. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When evildoers assail me to devour my flesh, my adversaries and foes, they shall stumble and fall. Though a host encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war arise against me, yet I will be confident. One thing have I asked of the Lord, that will I seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord, and to inquire in his temple. For he will hide me in his shelter in the day of trouble. He will conceal me under the cover of his tent. He will set me high upon a rock. And now my head shall be lifted up above my enemies round about me, and I will offer in his tent sacrifices with shouts of joy. I will sing and make melody to the Lord. Hear, O Lord, when I cry aloud. Be gracious to me and answer me. You have said, seek my face. My heart says to you, your face, Lord, do I seek. Hide not your face from me. Turn not your servant away in anger, you who have been my help. Cast me not off, forsake me not, O God of my salvation. For my father and my mother have forsaken me, but the Lord will take me up. Teach me your way, O Lord, and lead me on a level path. Because of my enemies, give me not up to the will of my adversaries. For false witnesses have risen against me, and they breathe out violence. I believe that I shall see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Wait for the Lord, be strong, and let your heart take courage. Yes, wait for the Lord.